With Coach Johnny Roscoe, Northern Guilford Nighthawks, busy practice on this Wednesday, getting set for Western Alamance on Friday. Coach, it's been a good season. Good week of practice for you so far this week.
Thus far, we are still trying to prepare for them, and it's a steady process, which we go. And today's our last day of really zeroing in on everything.
Has it been overall? I know it's been a great year. What do you kind of attribute to the success of the team so far this season? We haven't talked in a few weeks, but I know you guys have had a good run going and have had success most of this year.
Well, I think everybody has blended together, and any type of team, you've got to do that. Last week we didn't execute as well as we'd like to, and our whole thing we tell our players is we got to get better and better each week. And this is the second part of our three-prong type season, and this is will be the end of our regular season. So we've got to do well there. We've got to to win the conference outright. We need to win this. We have to win this, and also to be undefeated in the conference. So that's a big key for us.
I'm sure it means a lot for you too to finish that conference unbeaten, and pretty tough team, I guess. Western Alamance standing in the way of that finish, but I know you guys are getting ready for them. What do you know about Western Alamance going in?
Well, their last two games they've scored right at 60 points, really offensively, and they've shut people down. McMichael, they beat 66-0, and then the same thing as the week before, it was Eastern Guilford and just about shut them out. So it's going to be a real tester for us.
You guys took care of Eastern Alamance. Eastern Alamance beat Western Alamance. We throw all those things, I guess, out the door to get ready for Friday's game. What about Western Alamance? I know you've probably seen them on film against Eastern. What are you seeing in Western Alamance as a team? What kind of team are they? What do they do? They run the ball, throw the ball, or what do you expect them to do Friday night?
They're a good mixture of both. They do both of them, and it's really they can score at any time, and that's going to be the biggest problem for us. We've got to go in, and we're going over there, and that's the only place we've ever lost a conference game. And we've got some things that we got to take care of business. Of course, this time of year you got a lot of injuries. You got people that's not playing, that can't play right now, and now's the time for the young ones to step up and make plays for us.
I'm sure this is a fun time of the year now too, knowing all the season's kind of coming together, the playoffs getting ready to start, and this has to be a good time for you guys. I'm sure it's not probably hard to get the most out of your team, I guess, this time of year, because they know what they're playing for. This is starting to come to the point where it's going to be something big the rest of the way.
It is, and our whole thing, we can't think about the future because we've got 48 minutes of regular time that we got to take care of Friday night, which is, any type of football coach knows that. You can't ever look ahead, and our biggest thing is we want to play. We'll go play anybody, anywhere, but now we get a chance to go to over to Western Alamance, and it's going to be really going to be tight and going to be a tough game.
And as you mentioned a couple of years ago, that was a tough place to go. They hung that one loss on you, kind of spoiled part of your year, but then you guys took care of business in the playoffs. But again, you want to go with that clean slate in the conference. That takes you a long way to get that clean slate, and I'm sure that'll help things when they start to look over the teams on Saturday. That's another big thing too.
That is, and 2 years ago it put us in on the road for 5 straight games, which is fine. We'll go play anybody. So, but we can't think that way. We just have to go and play one game at a time and just see what type of senior leadership we have.
I know you got some good senior leadership. It's been a very good year for T.J. Logan. I've been seeing Ryan Johnston's name show up in the paper a few times here lately, too, trying to run down those scores. He's been running the ball well for you, so you've got some balance in that backfield. And Malik Parker, he scored another TD last week, so there is some balance back to when T.J. needs some help. He's got some teammates that can step up.
Right, and this week Chris Ripberger will be coming back, and he's been out for 2 weeks, so it gives us opportunities to do a lot of different things for people.
What did it mean to get Coltrane back? Austin Coltrane got back in the lineup. He brings some leadership for you too, and you guys have been solid even when he was out, but I know he came back a little quicker than some thought. It's probably good to get his athleticism back there in the backfield again too. With early games of the season when he took over, he was a good leader for you, able to run the ball, able to throw the ball as well, so I'm glad you're probably looking toward glad to have him back also.
Right, he's about 100% right now, so it's been roughly 5 weeks, and so he's come on and carrying out, executing our offense, and that's what he has to do, to really make plays for us.
And that offense gets a lot of credit, which they deserve that credit, but boy, your defense has to be among the best in the state. When people look at the bottom line, they start to scratch the surface down deep. They look at that Northern Guilford defense and realize that's been a mainstay for you now the past couple of years, and even standing up even more this year.
Right, we're not big. If you look at our people right now as we're at practice, there's probably some middle school teams bigger than us, but we are pretty quick, and we ask our players to do a lot of things on defense, and I think that's the biggest thing we can play as a team there as much as anything.
You know, sometimes think about this, watching your practice just a little bit this afternoon. Sometimes it's not exactly like you say, this big, strong athlete, big, tall kid who's the fastest in the state. Sometimes it's what you teach those guys and what these guys are willing to learn. You teach them a lot, these guys pick it up, and they're able to do a lot more with it.
Right, and we bring it in. We got junior varsity and the varsity, and you know, people don't understand. We play, you know, do the same thing straight through, so our ninth graders can come in and make plays, and that's what some of the things we do. We do have ninth graders play.
And I guess that JV team, last time I checked, they've had a very good season too. They're trying to wrap up, I think, maybe an unbeaten conference slate themselves, I guess, tomorrow night.
It is, and you know, it's a little learning, I guess, scale for them to go from the middle school, and our JVs is, except for about 2 or 3 or 4, is nothing but ninth graders, and they've come in and made some plays.
What do you think the difference is in the game Friday? Because it's really, if you're thinking about the playoffs, you probably scratch everything else did the previous weeks this year. The playoffs in a lot of ways begin a couple of days from now on Friday night.
Yeah, it's, you know, the game, I think our players, we got enough maturity, and we played in a good many, most of these have played in a lot of big games and playoff games, and they just have to know, go in and just take care of business. You know, ours, and I've told you before, it's a business trip. We got to go take care of it. We got 24 minutes per each half, and you know, that's going to dictate. Last time we lost already, we were up 21-7, ended up losing in overtime, I think 35-28 or something like that. And so we got some things we got to take care of business, and we've got about 5 or 6 players who were there, and they know what took place over there, and it wasn't a good taste in your mouth.
Coach, wish you the best of luck. You've had a great year. Want to see it continue, and keep up the good work.
Okay, thank you.